Hey, it's me, Constance Carter. I'm live again. Listen, here I am, MIA for a couple of months, and then all of a sudden, I'm going live all the time. And it's funny because I don't know if you see my title, How Do You See Me? Um, is a real question. I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning. Hey, Taisha. Hi, Shannon. I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning, and I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning. And I don't know if you know, I think I mentioned it yesterday. The first thing I do when I wake up is I just sit for a minute and just I'm thankful to God. I'm in gratitude. And so I woke up at 2 thinking it was really 4, that it was time for me to get up and go to the gym. Stayed there for a minute, said my thanks and prayed, got up, and I had 2 babies in my bed, so I had to go around, and I looked at the clock, got up and went around, looked at the clock, and it was 2. So I've been up since 2. And I could not go back to sleep for nothing in the world. So what do you do? You start to think, you start to scroll on Facebook, all that stuff. And as I started to go back to sleep, I started thinking about, I'm very introspective. I'm always thinking about how I come off and ways I can improve myself. That's just how I am. Because I want to be the best me that I can be. And that's real. That's just that ain't no gimmick. That's not anything that I'm putting out there. I'm really trying to be my best self. So I'm always being introspective and just trying to think of ways that I can be the best me. And so I was thinking about, sort of um, what's the projection that we put out there about ourselves? Like, what are other people's opinions of us? There's a saying, what other people's opinion of you, it's none of your business. But at the same time, there's some truth to other people's opinions, right? It's what you're putting out in the universe. Now, some people could have an opinion, a jaded opinion, because maybe they're jealous, or maybe they just, maybe they envy you, maybe you have something that they want. Maybe you just did something one time that they don't like. Maybe you just rubbed them the wrong way. Maybe they don't have no reason not, to feel the way they feel about you. I don't know. But that is a thought that I think that we should think about sometimes, is how do I come off to people? Like, do I come off uptight? Do I come off free? Am I funny? These are things that we should be thinking about. Am I a bitch? Do I come off as light? Do I have a heavy negative personality? Am I a worrier? Am I inspiration? What are the things? How do I come off to people? Self-reflection is one of the most important things that we can do. It's an essential part of our growth and on our journey. And so we should always figure out ways to think about what it is that we're doing the best. If we're only thinking about what other people are doing, if we're only thinking about what other people's faults are, then we failed ourselves. So on the road to living our best life, we should take a deep dive and figure out how we're projecting. And Ariane, you're absolutely right. It might be them, right? But if everybody has sort of an opinion about you, or how they think you come off, then maybe there's some truth to what they're saying. Possibly, I don't know. But my opinion is that we should always be self-reflective and trying to improve ourselves. And so no matter if it is them, because one of the things that we're good at is we're good at pointing the finger at other people without personal accountability. So daily, we should be examining ourselves daily. What can we do better? How can we be better? How can we live better? How can we serve better? So here's one of the things I want you to do. Did I say bitch in monster voice? um, so one of the things I want you to do, here's your assignment. I want you to ask 5 people that you interact with, what do they think? What's the first thing they think about when they think about you? Ask 5 people. What's the first thing they think about when they think about you? And then I want you to share it here. Like, I want you to share, because I want to have a discussion. I want to have a conversation. What is it? Ask 5 people. I'm going to ask Glenda, what's the first thing that you, and here's the thing. They're going to be polite. People are going to say great things about you. Most people are going to talk about your positive attributes. They're always going to talk about, what you do great. Nobody's going to say anything mean. But the next thing I want you to ask those 5 people is, what can I do to improve or make our relationship better? Ask them this. What can I do to make our relationship better? How can we be better? What can I do? And then that's when the truth will come out. One of the things that I asked my children, I asked my husband one time, I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate our relationship? That's a good question also, because the truth comes out. And, for me, I'm thinking, I'm the bomb.com mom. Like, I'm funny. I don't yell at them. I talk to them. Easy 10. Well, it was a real ego killer when they told me 7s and 8s. And I was like, oh, that hurt. But I couldn't be in my feelings. I couldn't be like, okay, I couldn't guilt them. Because I'm good at that too. I'm real good at guilting my kids. Oh, you don't love mommy? And they're like, oh, mom, you're just, or, oh, you don't want to stay in here with mommy? You don't want to watch TV with mom? I'm really good at that. So, but I didn't do that because I wanted them to give me an honest assessment, because this is all about our evolution of self-improvement. What can I do to make our relationship better? And what can I do to make our relationship a 10? Because they gave me 8s. They gave me 7s and 8s. And most of the responses were really around spending time, being present, not being so busy, not being on so much. Okay, I can do that. So I told you yesterday, if you listened to me yesterday, one of the things my husband said to me, and this is an evolving process, right? Because I haven't arrived. I haven't mastered it yet. But one of the things he says is, I know you can't give me 100%, but of the 25% of the time you can give me 100% of that. So it's a process for me to just be present sometimes, because I showed y'all a couple weeks ago. I think I've about 580 unread text messages. It's just that kind of life, and trying to balance it all is nearly impossible, but just giving the best that I can, just searching the best way that I can. So the 2 things I want you to ask: number 1, what's the first thing that you think? What's the first thing when you think of me? Telling you, people are going to be very polite, and they're going to say all the great things about you. And then you ask them, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate our relationship? That's the second thing you ask. And they're going to, they'll give you a rating. And this is where you're searching yourself. And then you're going to say, well, what can I do to make it a 10? And I ask people who really mean a lot to you. Because again, on our journey to self-improvement, to self-reflection, to evolution, we need people to tell the truth to us. So I want you to make sure that you ask those questions. Okay? So next thing I want you to do is figure out, how you can just be better, improve. And one of the things, I think the thing for me, because even today, I'm going to tell you, I just went off on somebody. And it's funny because I'm in my office, but I'm on the phone because somebody made a mistake. And there's been on one of my clients on a loan, and there's just been so many mistakes, and I'm pretty even keeled, but today I let him have it. And it wasn't his fault, but I was sick of it, because here, we have clients that, that rely on our information, and you making these mistakes and saying, oops, I made this, So anyway, I was out of character. And one of the things that somebody was here, they was like, wow, I've never seen you go off like that. Because I don't. I'm pretty even keeled. And the reason why I'm even keeled is because of my rituals that I do in the morning. But today the ritual didn't take effect. Today, all that went out the window. But for the most part, the first thing that I do, and this is what I want you to do, I want you to do these 3 things just for 5 minutes. Give yourself 5 minutes every morning. I want you to be grateful. Just sit in gratefulness. Just sit in gratitude. Sit in thankfulness. That's what I do every morning. I did it at 2 o'clock this morning. Maybe it wore off. Glenda, you think so? Because I woke up at 2. So maybe the gratitude wore off by the time. It's supposed to stay with me. She said it's supposed to stay with you a couple days. I'm thinking, hey, it was 2 o'clock in the morning when I woke up. So I want you to sit in gratitude just for a couple of minutes. This is how I want you to start your day every day. Just don't, thank God. Don't ask him for anything. Don't say, Lord, bless me. I just want you to just be thankful for everything in your life. And then I want you just to think about yourself. Be self-reflective, and then celebrate yourself and be grateful for that. Be grateful for who you are and who you're becoming. That's how you continue to stay in self-care. Don't think about that negative. Don't think, oh, I was so stupid when I did this. Think about what you did right. Think about your accomplishments and take a couple of minutes to celebrate you. And then the third thing I want you to do, so first thing I want you to do is I want you to thank God. Second thing to do, I want you to celebrate yourself and just be grateful for yourself. And the third thing I want you to do is think about how you can serve somebody today, how you can be a blessing to somebody else today. What can you do to be a blessing to somebody else? Because I'm telling you, when you bless other people, you are blessed far more in return. And you'll start to see a shift in your life. You'll start to see a change in your life. You'll start to be freer. You'll start to be happier. You'll start to, you start to celebrate other people because you're happy within yourself. You'll start reaching your goals. You'll start living your life on purpose. So I want to do a 21-day challenge. I want to do a 21-day challenge with you guys. I want to do a 21-day challenge. And then the reason why I say do a 21-day challenge, why? Because it becomes a habit. Because I want you to implement this in your life. So you don't got to do the 21-day challenge on asking people. So the first thing I want you to do, ask somebody what they think of you. What's the first thing you think of when you think of me? It'll be real nice. And then the second thing is I want you to do is I want you to ask them. I want you to rate your relationship. Rate your relationship on a scale of 1 to 10. What would you give our relationship? And the third thing you're going to ask them is, how can I make that a 10? And then you work on it. But the 21-day challenge is every morning before your feet hit the ground, I want you to just get centered by sitting in gratitude for a minute, just being thankful, being in gratitude for yourself and celebrating your accomplishments, and then asking yourself, what can I do to be a service to somebody else? So that's it. Creatively Keisha. I needed this right now. I'm so glad you guys are logged on. Russell, Leanna, Imani, Spencer, Stacy, what's up? Tara, Maureen, I'm glad you joined me. What would you rate our, what was the first thing you think? What would you rate our relationship? Karen, thank you for joining me. Tiff, be grateful for who you are. It's so important. Hey, Eric, it's so important that we celebrate ourselves and our little wins. And that's one of the things that I don't do enough is celebrate the small things, because I'm always looking for the next thing. And people be like, don't you think it's pretty cool that you've accomplished? And I'm like, no, because I ain't here. So a lot of times, and I'm a work in progress. I'm a hot mess. So I have to take time to celebrate the little wins as well. But we growing together. And I want you to live your best life. All right, Tara. So listen. Thank you, Stacy. Listen. Oh, I've never been grateful for me. Never. Well, guess what? You're going to start today, Keisha. You're going to start today. So one of the things I want you to do is let's have an interactive discussion. And I want this to be ongoing because we can actually make this moment into a movement. So let's talk about it. Let's stay on this post, go ask the questions and come back and share what people said. And then let's talk about the challenges because I want to make sure that we're staying on course. I want to make sure that we're staying in self-improvement. I want to make sure that we're staying in being able to live our best life. So let's make sure that we continue the conversation. So Keisha, I'm going to challenge you to be grateful. We're going to talk about this and we're going to keep talking about this. Tara, being a blessing to others this is one of my ultimate goals because you are a blessing to others. But that's how you get the fullness of God's blessings. So, hey y'all, what you think of me? How do you see me? Let me know. All right, I'm out. Post the results in the comments box. Love you guys. Peace.